All right. Welcome to the show. Why is there no picture? What is happening? There we go. There we go. Are we live? Anyway, thanks for joining me, everybody. Oh, man. Nice to start off like that. Welcome to the show. Today, we're going to dive into the murky waters of logical fallacies. Yeah, and right off the top of the list is the one that can make even the most reasonable minds stumble. That is the false cause fallacy. See, it's like thinking every time I wear my favorite underwear, the universe aligns to grant me good luck. Now, don't get me wrong, my jockey game is strong, and let's not pretend it's a cosmic charm that's paving the way. It's more likely good old-fashioned chance and probability at play. Yes, this is the false cause fallacy, where even scholars can get lost in the woods of misguided conclusions. Imagine this. Ever since I started drinking organic green tea, I've become a genius. Yeah, no, sorry, tea aficionados. It's not the leaves steeping in hot water. It's your dedication to learning and maybe a dash of genetics. Let's not forget our politicians. Wizards of spin. You know who I'm going to talk about here. Every time I make a campaign appearance, the sun shines on us. Please. It's not your rally that controls the weather, okay? And what about wellness fads, right? Pseudoscience runs wild. Since I started using this crystal-infused aromatherapy, I've become enlightened. Sorry, it's not the crystals. They're not going to magically unlock the secrets of the universe. It's more likely a concoction of placebo effect and your own deep desire for inner peace, okay? Last, not least, what about in the digital realm, right? Where every click is like misconstrued as divine blessing. Every time I post a selfie, my ego soars with every like. Let's be real. It's not your selfie prowess, okay? It's just an echo chamber of social media feeding your need for validation. But fear not, my discerning audience. For this fallacy is a reminder of our innate human quest for patterns and simple explanations. We've got to resist this false causation and embrace the sword of critical thinking. As we navigate this maze of correlation and causation, arm yourself with skepticism and reason. For every victory over the false cause fallacy, we will reveal true complexities of our world, an inch even closer to genuine understanding. My name's Tom Coffey. This is the Coffee Nuance Show, the best damn censored commentary and news show live right now. Flame on. Oh, yeah. False cause fallacy. False cause fallacy. I would like to think of, the streaming gone wrong and what I would associate that with. I'd probably associate that with, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, right? Oh, man. And it's funny, in reading that monologue, 3/4 of the way through, I realized I'm reading an old draft. I'm not going to redo the monologue, but trust me, it was funnier. Oh man. Anyway, it's a false cause fallacy, right? We've heard about this a lot, and I just wanted to touch on it one more time. Post hoc fallacy, correlation, causation fallacy. There's lots of different names for it. Anyway, it's the kind of logical fallacy that occurs when someone assumes that because two events happen, maybe in succession, that somehow they coincide with each other. One event must have caused the other one to happen, right? That's what we often conclude. So it's mistaking two events and having that one causes the other one after this. We'll see this in the media a lot. The media pulls this BS a lot. They'll say something happened after this other thing happened, right? That'll be the headline. this happened after this other thing happened. And immediately you think, aha, that was the cause of it. No, it's not the cause. Necessarily. Could be, but we need to look into it. The fallacy overlooks the possibility that there could be other reasons, right? That why these two things seem related. There may be no direct cause and effect relationship at all between the two things. So it's really important to look at, actual evidence, right? Conduct some research and consider other possible explanations. So anytime you hear one of these things, before you just buy it wholesale, you're creative, right? You have an imagination. Imagine, could there be another cause? Because if you don't even consider that there could be another cause, you're just a sucker. You're just being duped. You have to at least consider other causes. And I see this so often. And considering other causes can be very optimistic as well. Often if you are critical of things, they're like, oh, you're such a skeptic. Oh, you're always so negative. But if you actually try to imagine other causes, you might find out that there could be another cause. You're bringing more truth to the situation. You're bringing a different perspective. You're bringing something good. I know we're all pattern recognition machines. I am definitely a pattern noticing machine. I see them everywhere, but not all patterns are true. Sometimes they're just chance. So anyway, that's just a little reminder at the top of the show. I got a number of stories to get to today, including some updates from some previous stories. This first one has to do with, Kamala Harris, Ron DeSantis. What is happening there? Let's see if I can get a mouse to work. There we go. Boom. And do me a favor. Do me a favor. Can you do that for me? Smash that like button right now. Don't forget. You could save it till the end. Tell you what, hit the like button now, and then later on in the video, you decide this video sucks. Hit it again and take it away. That's okay. I give you permission. Oh, man. Anyway, Vice President, it's still funny to hear that. Oh, man. Kamala Harris goes to Florida and starts flailing her arms, accusing the state's curriculum of promoting propaganda and lies about slavery. You know what they say, if you can't beat them, just misinterpret them. But wait, it gets better. Governor DeSantis dared her to come over and discuss it, mano y mano. He's practically waving her in like, come on, Kamala, let's have a chat about reality. And here's the kicker. She goes completely AWOL. She vanishes, afraid to confront the truth. I mean, you can't blame her. It's tough to handle history when it doesn't fit your narrative. So here's the story. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis challenged Vice President Kamala Harris to discuss Florida's curriculum, which she criticized as propaganda and lies. DeSantis accused the Biden administration of misinforming about Florida's Black history standards and invited Harris to a meeting. The dispute revolves around whether slaves benefited from slavery. I talked about this this week, right? Harris vehemently opposes the notion, calling it false and misleading. DeSantis defended the curriculum, and Black lost my track here. Scholars who wrote the curriculum also want Harris to come to the meeting. However, Kamala, she's declined it altogether. So this is true, right? Kamala sucks at debates. She probably never should have been the vice president. She got destroyed in the Democratic primary debates. She's not very good on her feet. I don't know. She doesn't seem to be very good at anything, if we're being honest. But yeah, she sucks at debates. And if she were to actually show up and meet with Ron DeSantis, her audience would actually see that what she was saying was absolute nonsense. So I guess it's the smart thing to do if you're just a liar, to not actually debate anything. That's my interpretation of it. And this is weird, man. I never would have thought that I'd be like somehow championing Ron DeSantis. I'm not a big fan, you know, of a lot of what he does. But in this case, there's no nuance about it, you know. Vice President Harris is straight up lying about this. And I'm glad that it's calling her out. And this is a reminder, when people lie to your face, call them out, challenge them. I wish I had a platform big enough that I could challenge a lot of these liars, that they would have to respond. But let's see, what are we at? Yeah. There's a reason. There's a reason that, yeah, no one nationally is listening to what Mr. Coffee here has to say, right? So, anyway, got some other interesting news. It has to do with this big indictment, right? Big indictment. Oh, man. Woo, woo. You know, folks, former President Donald Trump's been indicted for what, the third, fourth, fifth, I don't know. Fifth time? I don't know. How many times? I've lost track. Now, the judge overseeing the case, Tanya Chutkan, seems to have quite a reputation for sentencing January 6 rioters to longer terms than the prosecutors even asked for. She ain't playing around. Let's be honest, though. Trump's legal team must be thinking, we're going to need a bigger budget, right? Oh, man. It's a... so anyway, here we go. Indictment 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. Coming to the courthouse near you. Here's the story. Former President Donald Trump was indicted on Tuesday for his actions on January 6th. The U.S. District Court judge assigned to oversee the case, Tanya Chutkan. She's a former trial attorney and supervisor at the District of Columbia Public Defender Service. She later worked in private practice and was appointed U.S. State's District Court for District of Columbia in 2014. She's known for sentencing January 6 rioters to longer sentences than prosecutors requested. She's also rejected a request from Trump's legal team to block the release of documents to the House committee investigating the Capitol riot. The significance of her assignment is that Trump could opt for a jury trial or request Chutkan to decide the case herself. However, the judge for this assignment was totally random and not chosen to favor a party. Totally random. Totally random assignment. I think, what do we have, like 15 judges to choose from? And we got the one judge that has outright stated in public that January 6th was a violent coup to overthrow our government. She actually said that. Yeah. She's on record as saying that January 6th was a violent coup to overthrow our government. Now, you may believe that. I know there are lots of people that believe that. But I don't know how you're going to have a fair trial. I don't know. Kind of looks like a setup to me. It totally looks like a setup to me, but I don't know. I wasn't there when they however they randomly chose this judge. And I'm not going to make any predictions about this one because, I don't know, it just seems too crazy. Just seems too crazy to me. But it'll be interesting to see the reporting on this. There were... that's all I'm going to say right now. Anyway, let's get into the next story. It has to deal with print newspapers here in Oregon. So did you hear? The Oregonian newspaper is going to stop printing 3 days a week, leaving Portland without a daily paper for the first time in over a century. They're going all in on their digital game, and I guess who can blame them, because who actually reads newspapers anymore? The Oregonian, a newspaper that's been printed daily since 1881, has announced plans to stop printing 3 days a week, leaving Portland without a daily paper for the first time in over a century. The print editions will be reduced to Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with online access for subscribers on Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting at the first of the year. The decision is a business move, as the paper struggled to make money on its print product and experienced success online. The online version of the Oregonian receives about 7 million unique visitors a month. Only around 2,000 customers in the Portland area currently receive 7-day print delivery. Yeah. Anyway, the move reflects the newspaper's efforts to adapt to a changing media landscape and invest in their digital offerings. So this is interesting with the ending of a daily newspaper. How times have changed, I guess, but we all change with the times. Growing up in Albuquerque, we had 2 newspapers. We had a morning newspaper and an evening newspaper. So depending on what time you liked getting your news, obviously the evening newspaper was updated from the morning paper. But it was the Journal in the morning, the Tribune in the afternoon. And now, Portland, big city, we don't even have a daily paper anymore. Let me know, in the city that you live, do you still have a daily paper? I don't know, I'm kind of nostalgic for a paper, but I gotta be honest, I don't go out and buy a paper, and I don't have it delivered. Frankly, they really did themselves a disservice by charging so much. They could have used more of the way that they do things online, which is, you make your money through advertising, right? You give it away for free and you make the money on the ads. When a paper goes from 25 cents to 50 cents to 75 cents and now, $2.50 for a daily paper, whatever it is, that's it's a bit too much. Right? There are price points to things, and I think they definitely price themselves out. That's for sure. But yeah, we're just not getting newspapers as much today. I really do think, though, that this is the death knell. This is over. It will only be a short matter of time before there is no print newspaper. And what would be your guess as to when the actual printing of the newspaper is done? Because I think it might be closer than we think. I do think it might be closer than we think. It might be within 5 years there's no printed newspaper. Perhaps. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And as a reminder, stick around for the after show. I'll go through all of your comments on Rumble and on YouTube. So stick around for that. But right now, I've got an update from a story from yesterday. Oh, and this really saddens me. You heard about the reporter who wanted to escape to Ukraine. It's not as easy to get away from an authoritarian government. It's like trying to close one of those pop-up windows. So Chilean-American reporter Gonzalo Lire, a vocal critic of the Ukrainian government, resurfaced after months in custody and expressed his intention to flee to Hungary and apply for political asylum. He claimed he'd been subjected to physical abuse and extortion during his detention, and he'd kept incommunicado since May. However, he was stopped by Ukrainian border guards while attempting to cross the border and has since gone missing. Lire has previously stated that he was released on bail but had his passport and was not wearing an electronic shackle, and that violated the terms of his release. He feared he was being set up to be sent to a labor camp to cover up for an alleged extortion scheme. Lire has been accused by the Ukraine government of justifying the Russian military operation and spreading false stories about the war in Ukraine. But he maintains that the charges are baseless, and he was only expressing his opinion and reporting on the situation in the country. So that's the update. Looks like he did not make it across the border, and that's all we've heard, but this has been confirmed by a number of different sources. So kind of sad news. I wonder if our Justice Department, I wonder if our government will have anything to say about this. An American citizen held and tortured in Ukraine. It's really a shame. Really sad. Yeah, we can all send good vibes that way, and we can use a little we can use a little false cause, right? We can send some good vibes, and perhaps something good will happen from that. Anyway, I guess we need some good news. This is fun. This may cheer you up just a touch. So I don't know if you saw this. Nature's latest comedy act. Is it a bear or a man in a bear costume? No one knows, not even the bears. So there's a video here. I'll show it in just a sec. It features an unidentified creature. It's a bear that appears to be either a bear or a person in a bear costume. It's a bear. Leaving viewers puzzled. The focus of the video is allegedly a sun bear, the world's smallest true bear from Southeast Asia. Sun bears are not considered endangered, but are considered vulnerable. They spend a significant amount of time sleeping in trees. The name sun bear comes from the orange-colored patch of fur on their breast. So let's check out this video here. A lot of people are saying, this isn't a bear. This is a dude in a bear suit. Look at the way he moves. Look at the way he's standing there. That's got to be a human, right? I don't know what to tell you. It's a bear. Okay. I get it. He's got this bear has a flat butt like I don't know, a 65-year-old guy, right? I understand, It's a bear, okay? It is funny, though, in correlation, right? People see this, they're like, oh, no, it's got to be, Sometimes the simplest explanation is the true thing. I mean, what's more likely? It's a bear, or it's an elaborate scheme by the Chinese to have a guy dressed up in a bear suit because, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, if you want to watch the video, there's lots of videos of this bear. You can just search for man in a bear costume. It'll pop up. You can watch it yourself. Put it on the big screen and laugh. I think it's silly. I can't imagine anyone actually thinking it was a man in a bear suit, but, you know, whatever. Just tried to have a little fun here at the end after all the terrible news that there was today. Anyway, stick around for the after show. I'll go through all your comments. Thanks for hitting that like button. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Peace. Boom. Thanks for sticking around for the chat, the after show. Fantastic. Maddening Spirit. Love this segment on false cause fallacy. Thanks, Tom. Statistical and scientific literacy is easily the best thing I got from college education. After you learn that, you discover how much even scientists can lie or mislead. Very true. First unarmed insurrection in history. Yeah, I know. Committed by the most armed subset of the population. I know. What are the odds of that, right? What are the odds? F in the chat to pay respect to Gonzalo. It's truly foreboding. Our government will justify it if they say anything at all. Yeah. Very sad. Very sad. I think at some other time it would be, kind of more fun to talk about, how do you escape? How do you fall off the grid? How can you avoid border and things like that? Today's not really the day for that. I think it's very sad. If he is captured, if he does have to go to a labor camp. But I do think that we need to raise a stink about this. Obviously, it's a lot easier to do. I think, you could follow me over there on X or Twitter. But when you got about 100 followers, I don't know. I got something like that. Less than 200 followers. My tweet's not going to do much. But we can amplify and like and share more influential people's tweets about this. So I encourage you to do that. Otherwise, nothing changes, right? Let's see. Get your coffee ready. Okay, everybody's checking in. Lucid Moment says, I'm a commando in the jockey game. Got that. Natasha says, at TSA, when someone asked why they alarmed the metal detector, I told them it's complicated. It's a combination of what I ate for breakfast and the barometric pressure and the style of underwear. I suspect that joke would fly over the head of a lot of people going through TSA. People want the world to validate them as if it's their parents. Yeah. Very true. Purposeful misinforming is more like lying than informing. I would agree with that. A little truth misdirection. And good to see you. Work got in the way for watching live the last couple of days. Well, good to see you too, Jody. Glad you could join us. Did y'all see the story on the secret biolab? I talked about the secret biolab yesterday, and I could not find evidence that it was a Chinese Communist Party biolab. Just that there was a biolab down there in California. But if I find out that it actually was a Chinese communist biolab inside the United States, well, I'll certainly share that. But as of right now, I haven't seen enough to say that. Doug says, I'm in small town USA. We still have a weekly, always been a weekly newspaper. Very cool. Who delivers newspapers these days? I thought a parent didn't let kids out of their sight anymore. Now, when I see people delivering newspapers, it's usually some typically kind of an immigrant-looking guy. Not any immigrant population in particular, driving like a bad minivan that's probably 20 years old. That's what I see the most often, delivering papers. It's easier to get your info off the phone or computer than to go to a store and buy. We have a small paper in the town next to me. It's like one page. Yeah. And Lucid Moment says it's mostly yard sale ads. Well, you know what? You got to find out about yard sales somewhere, right? Natasha says, I enjoyed Gonzalo's reporting. Sad news indeed. Our government doesn't care because he wasn't upholding their narrative. It's very true. If you are not supporting the narrative, you kind of get ignored. That's typically how it works. And they're sending billions to them. Yeah. Let's see. If you were female and played basketball, he'd probably already be back. Yeah. Yes, Gonzalo made a comment to that effect in his video. Yeah, he did say that. Our government will trade a Russian arms dealer for a pothead basketball player, but they're silent about Gonzalo Lire. Got it. Yeah, well, that's very true, Hairwitted Steven. Very true. You just picked up another follower on X. Well, thank you, Gullible Skeptic. Follow me over there, and I will follow you back. That is a way to get more information. Lucid Moment says, I dumped X. I didn't like the logo change. Never got much from Twitter anyway. Well, the thing that I will say about X, right, X, is that I think the idea is it is to move away, not necessarily from just the short form text sharing that was Twitter, but to incorporate more things into the app, eventually becoming an everything app. So perhaps you might be able to watch a live stream on X. You might be able to buy something. You might be able to send money to somebody else through that app. And so, you know, that's what the rebrand is about. I get it. Not all apps are for everybody. In fact, for the longest time, I had a hard time even understanding the Twitter app. I just didn't get it. It was hard for me to follow. And it still is to some extent. But I am using it. I have found it helpful for some things. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. Jody says, all print is gone the way of horse and buggies. Publishers are not sponsoring new authors for novels, too. It's very true. So things change, right? So we got to evolve with the times, you know? Yeah. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I hope you have a beautiful day. Oh, I'll tell you one last thing that I meant to talk about, and maybe you can look this up. All three of Trump's indictments, and I should have had this, were announced one day after there was a big story about Hunter Biden. Okay? Now, if you were using the false cause fallacy, you would say, oh, look, big story about Hunter Biden. Boom, they announced the Trump indictment the next day. Another big story about Hunter Biden. Boom, they announced the Trump indictment the next day. It's happened 3 times in a row. But the timing, they may announce these things, to change the narrative in the news, perhaps. But it was in the works for a long time. This indictment, we known, has been coming for quite a while. So that's not the cause of it. Sometimes things can be related without it actually being the cause. And that kind of goes back to the false cause. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Have a beautiful afternoon. And I'll see you mañana. Peace.